Hello everyone and welcome to the sixth video as a part of the training videos on filling up and submitting the DGQI second edition self-assessment questionnaire via the DGQI portal. In this series of videos, we are giving a walkthrough of the self-assessment questionnaire and the portal to explain how the questions are to be answered via the portal. In the first five videos, we have already explained the data strategy and data systems pillar related questions of part A. In this video, we are going to discuss part A, section E, which is synergistic data use within ministry and how to answer questions within this section. So we go to add part A on the home page and we look at the E section, which is synergistic data use within ministry. So it is the first theme within the data-driven outcomes pillar of DGQI, which is being assessed at the ministerial level. The aim of this theme is to essentially assess how the ministry is using the data that it is collecting, how it is analyzing it, how it is identifying gaps in it, and then undertaking measures to ensure that data is being used in a synergistic manner within the ministry, breaking the silos within the ministry, and how so that it is resulting in better policy outcomes at the ministerial level. The section has three questions. The first question is whether the ministry has identified data gaps at the ministerial level that need to be plugged in from decision making perspectives. So, data gaps essentially refer to any kind of data that is required by the ministry from decision making point of view, but for some reasons it is not being collected or it is not available with the ministry right now. So, if the ministry has identified such data gaps and documented them, then the ministry can select yes and is explain how has the same been done. If the ministry has not done this, then the ministry can select no. If the ministry selects no, the second question becomes irrelevant and therefore the ministry need not answer it. However, the question the response to the first question is yes, it will first explain in question one how has the ministry done this, what kind of analysis was undertaken by it to identify its data gaps. The second question on this aspect is, after identification of these gaps, has the ministry made any implementation plan to overcome these data gaps, to fill up these data gaps? So these can be any sort of measures, such as developing any sort of new data capturing mechanisms with the help of new technologies, or involving in other exchange mechanisms so that you can get this data from other ministries if it is available, or partnering with other private agencies from where you can get this data, or undertaking some sort of surveys, so on and so forth. So if the ministry has made any implementation plan to overcome these data gaps so that it can better use the available data and collect more data to aid in its decision making, then the ministry can select yes and explain how it is done. If the ministry selects no, then the ministry need not explain. The third question in this essentially pertains to exchange of data within the ministry. So it essentially asks whether there are systems in place that ensure integration of data systems. So it essentially asks whether data from the one scheme division can be shared with another scheme division automatically. Are there such systems in place? For example, if one scheme is collecting data on some indicator, which is also required by another division on its portal, then it should be able to get this data from the scheme division via a suitable exchange mechanism that is automated, such as API linking. That being just one such example. So therefore, or the ministry can think of common data warehouses or data lakes and so on and so forth. So if there are such data integration capabilities, then the ministry can select yes. If the ministry is in process of establishing such systems, they can select in progress. In case of in yes or in progress, they can explain how is this being done. If it is no, they can select, if it is not being done, they can select no. Further, if the ministry feels that the question is not applicable to them, that they don't need any such mechanisms for data exchange within their ministry, then you're requested to provide the reasons for why this data integration is not applicable to your ministry in detail. So that covers all the questions in part A, section E, synergistic data use within ministry. In the next video, we'll be covering part A, section F. Thank you.